All right, I'm going to go ahead and start the stream off by working 7 through 11 on this week's work or last week's worth. No, this week's worth of work on for geometry. So I have two lines that intersect in like an X. And then I have them labeled as 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I tell you that the measurement of angle 1 is 2x plus 35. And the measurement of angle 3 is 3x plus 7. All right. So on for 7, it says find x. So it says find x. Well, that's easy enough. If we look at the measure of angle 1, measure of angle 3, we look at the relationships. These are called vertical angles, and vertical angles are congruent. So we would just set these two equations equal to each other. We have 2x plus 35 equals 3x plus 7. We're going to move all of our x's on one side and all of our numbers on the other. So I'm going to subtract 3x from both sides, and I have a negative x. I'm going to subtract 35 from both sides, and that should give me 20. Oh, boy, I'm not thinking today. Can't even use a calculator right. Negative 28. That tells me x equals 28. All right, so I've found 7. So number 8 asks for, and the rest of these 9, 10, and 11, they ask for the measure of angle 1, the measure of angle 2, the measure of angle 3, and the measure of angle 4. All right, so let's look. So if we know x is 28, so x in this is 28. So to find angle 1 and 3, I just plug it back in. So the measure of angle 1 equals the measure of angle 3, which is going to be 2 times my x value, 28 plus 35. 2 times 28 is 56. Plus 35. This gives me 91 degrees. So the measure of angle 1 and angle 3 are 91 degrees. 6. 91. That means the angle of, if you look at 2, angle 1 and angle 2 are linear combinations or linear pairs of supplementary. So if I know the measure of angle 1, well, we know the measure of angle 1 plus the measure of angle 2 is 180 degrees because they're supplementary. And they're linear pairs and supplementary. So from here we know the measure of angle 1 is 91. So we do 91 plus the measure of angle 2 equals 180. Subtract 91 from both sides, and I have the measure of angle 2 equals 89 degrees. So the measure of angle 2 is 89 degrees. And if you look at 2 and 4, they are vertical angles. And those are 89 degrees as well. All right. So, all right, Tori, let me work that one real quick. Time down 3:38. All right, how do you do the absolute value of x squared minus 56 equals x? All right. Alrighty, so how do we do the absolute value of x squared minus 56 equals x? All right, that is from this week, number 10. So 509, 421. All right, let's do this. So with the absolute value, we know that there are two cases. We know that the absolute value of x equals, it's x if x is greater than 0 and negative x if x is less than 0. All right, that means we have two cases. So to get rid of this absolute value, I have to write it as two equations. I have one equation, which is x squared minus 56 equals x. That's the positive version. And then we have x squared minus 56 equals negative x. That's the negative version. And we solve both of these equations. I'm going to subtract x from both sides. I've got x squared minus x minus 56 equals 0. And then this just factors to x minus 7, x plus 8. 7 and 8 should be 56. So x plus 7, x minus 8 equals 0. 0 product property, x plus 7 equals 0, x minus 8 equals 0. Subtract 7, add 8. So we know x is going to be negative 7 and positive 8. That's for the positive scenario. Let's do the negative, add x to both sides. So I have x squared plus x minus 56 equals 0. This factors to x plus 8, x minus 7 equals 0. These are just swapped. Set them both equal to 0. X plus 8 equals 0. X minus 7 equals 0. Subtract 8, add 7. X equals negative 8 and positive 7. All right, from here, we just need to plug them back in and make sure they work. So if I put negative 7 here, negative 7 squared is negative 49. 49 minus 56 is negative 7. The absolute value of negative 7 is 7. So this first one doesn't work because if I put it in, I get 7 equals negative 7. So this doesn't work. On top of that, you can't have a negative right here. So this negative 8 also is not going to work. So those are extraneous solutions. So my extraneous solutions are your negative 7 and the negative 8. Those are extraneous solutions. If I plug 8 in here, 8 squared 64, 64 minus 56 is 8. The absolute value of 8 is 8. 8 equals 8, that checks. Put 7 here, 7 squared is 49. 49 minus 56 is negative 7. The absolute value of negative 7 is 7. And then, so it's that 0.7 equals 7 checks. So my solutions to x is going to be just 7 and 8. The negative 7 and negative 8 are extraneous solutions. It's a cool little problem. All right, what other questions, guys? What's up, it's your boy? It's been a while since you've been on here. And Big Red. Wow, both y'all on the same day. I was wondering the other day, I was like, man, did I make the work too easy for them? They just quit showing up. So what do y'all think about school being not so much canceled, but no more in-class, no more being in-class work? Y'all been getting your work done? Getting it turned in? Well, I'll be honest with you, Tori. I kind of knew this was coming. Once they canceled it up to May, I didn't see us going back for 3.5 weeks. But you're, yeah, I think you'll be back next year. Come here. Come here. He hasn't been on the stream either in a while. Doing, buddy? He's not a weenie. Oh, what's up, Alex? It's the color. Amen, Tori. We don't have to see people we don't like. That's so true. Alex, did you go to your class today? Because I know your mother said she forgot to wake you up. Anybody got math questions? Are you done, Coda? Good job. Way to sleep through 6 alarms. Was it French? You gotta go hang up blinds in your grandmother's house after I'm done here. Are you on track? I think you're on track to make that, aren't you? Anybody got math questions? You know, Tori, he is almost 15 years old, and we have to yell at him because he's hard of hearing, and he's got glaucoma, so he can't see real well, so sometimes he runs into walls. Probably about as old as you. What? You mad because I called you old? It's the only dog I've ever seen that actually walks humans. He'll take my daughter's wrist when she's here, and he'll put his mouth around her wrist and actually walk her to like treats and to the door and everything else. He actually shows her what he wants. What do you want? What? 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 You gonna try to itch on my lap? Really? Yeah, I know. A couple months, huh, Alex? It'd be 15. I think your mom went to go buy blinds. My arms are so tired from painting. They hurt to move. Anybody got questions? Questions. I know the math I gave y'all was pretty easy. Tori, she just asked for number 10, so I'm assuming she didn't have a problem 1 through 9. Tori, you didn't want to do option 2? You didn't want to write a 1 to 2 page essay? Well, you're doing option 2. So you are doing the essay. You're not doing the 10 problems. I figured yeah, I forgot I made it over that problem. So you're willing to write an essay to explain one math problem versus doing 10 individual math problems. Interesting. Wrong Tory, Alex. Wrong Tory. Wow, see, for me, it'd take more time writing it and thinking about it than actually just solving 10 problems. That's why I gave you 2 different options. Because if you can explain it to me, that means you know how to solve all the different problems I put on there. So I put it on there for my English folks that don't necessarily like math. I figure I'd give you an English option for math. So Alex, your mother took Nala over to Grandma's new house, which is 100% hardwood floor, and she wouldn't move. Your mother had to bring her back because the entire floor was hot lava. Yeah, Tori, that's why it says 1 to 2 page expository essay. So I'm at least looking for 5 paragraphs, an opening, 3 body, and a conclusion. So you want to do 7 on option 1 for Algebra 2 or Geometry, Big Red? What you mean by 3, Tori? All right, Cody, you gotta get down. I gotta do math. There you go. That's a face? Wow, okay, whatever. All right, let's see. Number 7 on option 1. Are you talking about finding x for this week? All you do is set those equal to each other. 2x plus 35 equals 3x plus 7. I worked the entire problem for this week, 7 through 11 at the beginning of this. So I'll just go work this to show you how to find x. Subtract 3x from both sides. We've got negative x plus 35 equals 7. Subtract 35 from both sides. We got negative x equals negative 28. And then from there, divide both sides by a negative 1. And you get x equals 28, and you're done. And then from there, I mean, if you want to go back and watch, I did 7 through 11 at the beginning of the stream. How is that a face? I don't see it. By the way, Big Red, you haven't responded to my daughter. Is that Big Red like from the show Bring It On or like the soda? How is this a face? I don't see it. Don't see it as a face. I don't see eyes. Maybe like that? Maybe? What other questions, homies? I gotta go pack up my classroom probably this weekend. Take everything off the walls, get it ready for the summer. I did make y'all stuff for next week for Algebra 2 and Geometry. Not terribly bad. Not terribly bad. So 8 through 11. Dude, I like worked this whole problem at the beginning of the stream. If you were here on time, you would have saw the whole problem worked. All right. So we know 7 is 28. So really we have this. 1, 2, 3, 4, and ask for the measure of angle 1, the measure of angle 2, the measure of angle 3, and the measure of angle 4. Good idea. Don't be late again. Okay. So here's the deal. Angle 1 and angle 3 are the same because these are vertical angles. Angle 2 and angle 4 are the same because they're vertical angles. So once you find 1 and 2, you already know 3 and 4. Easy enough. So 1 and 3 are going to be the same, and 2 and 4 are going to be the same. Piece of cake. Now, we already know that x equals 28. We know that the measure of angle 1 is 2x plus 35. Well, if I just plug 28 in here, I've got 2 times 28 plus 35. 2 times 28 is 56 plus 35. 26 and 35 gives me 91 degrees. So we know that angle 1 and angle 3 are both 91 degrees. Okay, so those are done. Now, angle 1 and angle 2 are called linear pairs. Linear pairs are supplemental. Supplemental means that the angles are going to add up to be 180. So we know that the measure of angle 1 plus the measure of angle 2 is 180 degrees. Well, we just found the measure of angle 1 being 91 degrees, so I substitute that in. 91 degrees plus the measure of angle 2 equals 180 degrees. Subtract my 91 from both sides, and I get the measure of angle 2 is 89 degrees. So 89 degrees for both of these. Because angle 2 and angle 4 are vertical angles, we know they're congruent. So there you go. Not a terrible problem. Just have to kind of think your way through it, know what's supplemental and linear pairs and vertical angles. What else? Sorry I didn't stream yesterday. Hey, so guys, I want to ask y'all think I should move the stream to 1 o'clock or keep it at 5? I figured 1 o'clock, most of y'all still asleep. Only reason why I asked that is I have a student that is claiming to be international over in Lebanon. And whenever she gets on here, she said, she or he, I don't know who it is, what gender, saying it's 2 o'clock their time, is asking me to do it earlier. Yeah, I'm thinking keeping it at 5 too, because 1 o'clock, I'm still doing other things. Any more questions, guys? Oh, excuse me. Good time. Number 6. All right. So it says find 2 supplementary angles such that the measure of the first angle is 30 degrees less than 5 times the measure of the second angle. Okay, so first angle is 30 degrees less than 5 times the second angle. So the measure of angle 1 is 30 degrees less than 5 times the measure of angle. On the why I wrote a 3, it's 5. So the measure of one of the angles is 5 times the measure of the other angle minus 30 degrees. And then we know the measure of angle 2 equals the measure of angle 2. We know the measure of angle 1 plus the measure of angle 2 equals 180 because it tells me it's supplementary. From here, well, we know measure of angle 1 is 5 times what's 30 less than 5 times the other angle. So we're just going to plug it in. So we're going to do 5 times the measure of angle 2 minus 30 plus the measure of angle 2 equals 180. Combine like terms. I have 6 measures of angle 2 minus 30 equals 180. So, add 30 to both sides. And I have 6 times the measure of angle 2 equals 210. Divide both sides by 6. We have the measure of angle 2 equals, what is that? $35. So the measure of angle 2, and then it says find the 2. So one of them is 35 degrees, and the other one should just simply be 5 times 35 minus 30, or 180 minus 35, which should be 100 and or whatever. It should be 145. The same thing as 5 times 35 minus 30. So the measure of angle 1 is 145 degrees. The measure of angle 2 is 35 degrees. All I did was do 180 minus 35 to get 145. And voila, you're done. Not terrible. Not terrible at all. You could also have taken this 35 and plugged it in here and did 5 times 35 minus 30. That also equals 145 degrees. So they both work. What else, guys? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back in the descriptions and put these times down that I'm writing so people can jump right to the problem if they need help. And it helps me too when people send me emails asking questions. I can just say, go to this video at this time. What else? What else? So hopefully my wife is here tomorrow. Help me moderate because it's kind of boring doing this by myself. Guys, y'all need more help? All right, I'll give you a couple more minutes if you don't have any questions. Oh, number 4. It is literally just like number 6. So let's say we have the measure of angle 1 is 15 degrees less than twice the other. So 2 times the measure of angle 1 minus 15, and then the measure of angle 2 equals the measure, oh, that's 2, the measure of angle 2. And we know the measure of angle 1 plus the measure of angle 2 equals 180 because it says it's supplementary. Plug it in. 2 times the measure of angle 1 minus 15 plus the measure of angle 2 equals 180. Combine like terms. 3 times the measure of angle 1 minus 15 equals 180. Add 15 to both sides. The measure of angle 1 equals 195. And this doesn't go in even. No, 6, 15, yeah, it does. Then we just divide both sides by 3. That's going to give me 6, 18, 63. So the measure of angle 1 is 63 degrees. Why did I write measure 1? This is all measure 2. So now that we know the angle of measure 2 is 63, we can just do 180 minus 63. This gives me a 7, 117. And then just to double check, if I plug 63 in there, I should get the same thing. 2 times 63 minus 15 is something's wrong. 180 minus 63. 117. 2 times 63 minus 15. Something's not right. Did I divide right? Definitely 195. Oh, this is 65, that's why. I divided wrong. Like an idiot. Gives me 65. That changes this to 115. Why it's good to know how to double check. Simply because I divided wrong. Now 2 times 65 minus 15 gives me 115. So there you go. The measure of angle 1 is 115 degrees, and the measure of angle 2 is 65 degrees. Really, it's the same setup. What else? What else? Any more, guys? Text my wife, see where she's at. Questions, concerns, comments? She's at the store. You know which store she's at, Alex? Checking out. Is she at Walmart or at Lowe's? Oh, I'm assuming you're talking to her. Tell her to come by and pick me up. I'm going to end the stream early so we can go get those blinds hung because I don't have too many other people asking questions. I'm assuming you're talking to her. Easy way, instead of me texting her. I know you're talking to her, so. All right, guys. If give you a couple more minutes before my wife gets here to ask me questions, then I'm going to end my stream because I've got to go do some more work, different type of work. I need to shave. It's getting long. I need a haircut too. My hair is long. Goodness. Oh. Man. Alex, have you watched The Mandalorian on the Disney Plus? Pretty good. Watch it. There's a baby Yoda in there. Not actually Yoda, but they never specify what type of species Yoda was, so everybody calls him Baby Yoda. You're pathetic. Pathetic. Have you watched the final season of the Clone Wars? Because it's only for Disney Plus. Like 7 episodes. You got Anakin in 5 of them. It's an animated Anakin. Still Anakin. Alright, guys. I'm going to go ahead and end the stream, saying it's only me and my daughter on there now. Talking about Clone Wars? Ahsoka is good. I like Ahsoka. I like her character. Alright. I am going to shut down the stream, Alex. It's only me and you on there. Ahsoka is not trash. In fact, she's going to be, rumor has it, it's going to be a live action version of Ahsoka in the next season of The Mandalorian. She is not trash. Alright. I'm shutting this down. She's a crybaby. She's not a crybaby. Whatever. Alright, I'm shutting the stream down before I argue with my daughter.